Adele flicked her turn signal as she left the parking garage. This late, downtown, the streets were completely empty, as in no parked cars, no people, just the street lights and white lane dividers that often disappeared into the massive potholes eating the asphalt. They were so much harder to see at night, that much more jarring when the car rumbled over them. "Easy, girl," she said aloud, as the steering wheel rocked. It was John's car, and she hated driving it as much as he clearly loved it. A BMW 3 Series, not the Volvo she was comfortable with. John had taken her car to the shop to be serviced before he left for New York. He was so sweet, so lovely, always doing things like that, going out of his way to make her life easier, even if it meant he had to wake up that much earlier to drop the car off at the dealer's before catching a taxi from there to the airport. God, I love him. No matter how much she said it never got old to say, "I love my husband, I miss my husband, this car smells of my husband, I want my husband." She would have him, she knew, soon enough, after Elizabeth had enjoyed her fill and had taken him through all the things he had missed while he was away, including the unhappenings, like the fact that they said they would dig a hole to China in the backyard, now that they had a backyard, and had yet to do so. It amazed her how different she was from some of her classmates, from some of the other women she knew in this city. Yes, they were in their early 30s like her, but single, and on Fridays all dolled up, hair blown out, short skirts packed carefully along with high heels, so that work would easily be followed by a bar or a club with precious men, most of whom they would not talk to, and then Monday talk about wanting to have slept with, or have slept with, and then Monday talk about not wanting to have talked to. Exasperating yet sometimes intriguing. Yes, there was little envy of life in a world that consisted of dinner dates with exotic foods between two interested parties, and not pasta with butter, and a fight to get your daughter to eat something, anything green. No, darling, not lime popsicles or pistachio ice cream. And that silent evil eye meets, "What do you want me to do? She's my little angel." Look, confrontation, when John let Elizabeth off the hook. He knew when she was gone. She knew that when she was gone, the very few times she had to travel, they ate pizza and they ate burgers, and they ate that horrible honey glaze, "Is this really chicken?" that John would buy from the Boston Market on Connecticut, filling the kitchen with sauces that reeked, dumping out biscuits that she knew she could shine her dining room table with, that she secretly loved. That sound, that shaking, the wheel vibrated in her hands, and then the car pulled to one side. "No, this isn't happening. No, I'm almost home. No, you've got to be kidding me." At least she wasn't speeding. The tire hadn't burst and the car hadn't flipped. That happened to someone in their law school class before graduation, and his pregnant wife and his mother walked across the platform to collect his JD while his father couldn't compose himself enough to get out of his seat. The cheer was mighty then, as were the sobs. Why do you let that happen, God? But luckily for Grace, that was not her. Yes, as of this moment, Elizabeth still had a mom. She thought about driving home on the flat, but in John's car, his baby, he'd understand. But what a thing to have to come home to. Shredded tire, warped weir, and all the time it would take to make that right, especially when she wanted him to come home to her. No obstructions, jacket off, bedroom, and baby making. It all smelled so pathetic, and in the low light looked worse, limp, abused, almost shredded, as if having lost a battle against the road. And how hot it was against her hands. She couldn't see them, but after she'd removed the one wheel and replaced it with a spare, she knew that they were covered in that greasy black dust that made all mechanics untouchable and yet so desired. See, that didn't take time. Easy as pie, piece of cake, c'est fini. Perhaps the only thing she really remembered from that pitiful semester of college French, taken because there was at one point a desire to walk the way of St. James from Paris to Santiago. She would have, except that her girlfriends thought it was more appropriate to spend summers at the beach. A rustling, then heart flutters, and then throat quickly dries. She turned her head this way and then that, still nothing on the road, no one quiet as kept. And then again, a rustling. She froze. Come on, honey, finish up. What could that be? Just a deer or a raccoon? Yes, something like that. The park, the forest was full of them, so full that they often emerged to munch hard-planted flowers or topple trash cans in search of food, spread the embarrassing bits of life all over driveways. Let's make this quick. Car down, tighten the bolts, and then again the sound of crunching. Swallow, Addie. Oh, John. Our Father who art in heaven, swallow, breathe. Probably nothing, yes, nothing. Bolts tight, well, tight enough. as felt with that extra stomp of shoe against lug wrench. Always her favorite part when she did this with Daddy, all little and fascinated that his work was also the hobby that led him to always tinker with cars, sometimes to the nagging vocals of a frustrated mom. Daddy was an engineer, actually is an engineer. He would say because he was management. Now desk jobs, supervision, the pain, the perks before the gold watch. Pick it up, Daddy. Those are footsteps. Are those footsteps? No. Yes. Yes, those are footsteps. Slow, prowling. Maybe help. Probably not. Then faster, Addie. Breathe. She felt it, and it hurt. A rock against her head, hard, breathe. The thought, she could almost read it, in bright red scrolled slowly before her. This isn't happening. I'm not here. Then nothing. What strange sensation, this smell of earth so close, and this sweet taste, sticky taste, unmistakable because it's unmatched. That taste of you, your very essence, your own blood. And then, of course, this pain in the head, pulsing no matter which angle the head is tilted. There are not so many angles. Forward, yes, that's it. Only forward into the leaves and the mud. Yes, a relief. And then more pain, a stretching, excruciating pull in the shoulders and the arms, and again the legs and at the hips. Oh, pain. Everywhere burning. And why so cold? Why so wet against my front? Why so bare this burning feeling on my back? And so free the air that tickles my rear end? Yes, pain. She had known pain before, many times, through various accidents, a broken clavicle here, and then labor. But this was forever pain, as if all of her being was this sensation, her thoughts lost somewhere therein, too. Am I naked? So hard to breathe. Yes, pain, I understand you now. Elizabeth, am I naked? Oh my God, what has happened to me? My head, I can't breathe. My back, can't breathe. This is blood. Where are my clothes? This isn't happening. I'm not here. Elizabeth, John, so cold, so very cold, so wet. It's raining. I am rain. I'm sun. I'm naked. I'm the earth. Is that light? Daylight and cars. My car. John's car. Where's my car? Walk, Addie. John? Why can't I walk? Am I tied? This pain. Why can't I move? John, can you help me? Can anybody help me? Can't breathe, must breathe. Our Father, John, help me. C'est fini.